Hey guys, it is another cool, not cold, rainy day. It's like 56. It's supposed to feel like 54 today. Yes, I'm being your weather girl for Alabama yesterday's weather. But I want to show y'all we're getting more rain. And I'm happy about it. We need rain. And hope everyone else is getting the rain they need. And this little bush has decided it's going to do its thing just all at once. Has lots more blooms on it. It's the only one other than those knockout roses that is still out front from when we moved here. There were other types of plants out there that I guess the lady that lived here just got so old or something, or couldn't take care of them, so they got overgrown, and there were some that we tried to train back into something. It just didn't work. They were a mess. They were just a mess. And some were just dead. Some were partially dead. So we just went ahead and got rid of those. We don't usually care about that kind of stuff as much, but living in a city, that being the front yard, it was a little bit more important. Now, we wouldn't let dead things stay, but we usually let other things stay unless we need the space or something, if they're not dead. But anyway, curb appeal. So I'm about to, it is actually 11:30. I've been laying in the bed playing with my phone for a couple of hours. Just looking at emails and looking at my YouTube and stuff like that, which I need to do the thumbnail and finish up the video for tonight. But I can't do that on my phone. I probably could, but I don't like to because it's so tiny. I don't want to do that. Plus, the pictures that I have are on my SD card that is in my computer. They will not go in my phone. So, anyway, I'm making my coffee, and I'm going to go put my creamer in it, and I'll be right back, and I'll talk to y'all about what's happening today. Okay, so the chores today are the floors, the sliding glass door, which I'll do the inside, but I'm not going to worry about the outside because the dogs will, from muddy feet, paw all over it, which Noah had said last night that he was going to bathe the dogs today. I don't know if he should since it's raining. I don't know. They don't have to be bathed every week. We do that because we have one that has skin allergies, some kind of something, and she will just claw at herself, and she will hurt herself. But if we bathe her, it doesn't seem to be happening like it was. We bathe her with oatmeal bath too. So I don't know if he's going to or not, but the sliding glass door and the floors, and I'm going to clean the vacuum today after I do the floors, and that's it. That's all that I have on the list. I don't have any clothes to wash because I'm caught up on that. I don't have any dishes to put away because there weren't enough to wash last night in the dishwasher. So today's going to be an easy day. I do have my Bible study at 2, but that's not something, well, I do share it with y'all, but it's a complete different video thing because I keep it up after the live is over. So that's all I got to do today. I'm going to write in sliding glass door because I'm going to do that. And if I don't write it in, I might forget it. Gotta move this coffee before I spill it. Don't want to spill it. Jeff and Noah are going to go, while I'm doing Bible study, I think is when it's going to happen. They're going to go buy some materials to add on to a shelf that Jeff had built before for Noah. He had built it to go under his window, but he doesn't have it under his window. Hasn't had it under there in a very long time. So he's going to build another section to it to make it into like a square instead of having, it was kind of like an L shape, but an odd L shape. Anyway, he's going to do that, and then they're going to put doors, plexiglass doors on it. So, they're going to go get the material to do that today while I'm doing the Bible study. And let's see, what is dinner tonight? Today is tacos. Okay, so do I want to do tacos though? It'd be shrimp tacos and just regular tacos. Yeah, I think I will do the tacos because we need to eat some of that lettuce. And I always have a taco salad. I love taco salad. Plus we need to eat some of those tomatoes. So, tacos for dinner. I'll cook with y'all, I guess, but y'all have seen it before. But I've only done the shrimp tacos once, I think. So I'll just show y'all. It's super easy. But I think that's all right now. If there's anything else, I'll let you know. But I'm going to read over, well, I'm going to do the thumbnail, make sure everything's set at the right time for the video. And then I'm going to read over my Bible study stuff. I like to do that on the day of. So, I'll be back sometime today. Okay, it's dark, but I'm trying to get some light on. I finished Bible study a little bit ago. And Carol, I got that in the mail for you. And the mail hasn't come yet, so at least not as far as I know it hasn't. Because I'm supposed to be getting mail today. Anyway, the boys woke up. And Jeff's kind of stayed on his normal schedule. And Noah is too. But they woke up. And I'm going to go ahead and do supper at 3:38. It's 3:38, y'all. I'm gonna start supper, and that's okay. We'll just have an early supper, and we're doing the shrimp tacos, and then I already have the ground beef cooked, so we're having beef tacos, and I'm doing this taco rice simple supper. That's what I'm doing. But I'm gonna show y'all how I do the shrimp tacos again, because some of you might not have seen it, and you may want to know how I do mine. I don't know. It's very simple. But I always do a taco salad with mine. I eat the beef. And I ate some of this, and then Noah has beef and shrimp on his tacos. So, that's the way we do that. But I've got the taco rice already going. Now I'm about to get the shrimp going. And the beef heated up. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the camera set up, and then I'll show y'all. Okay, on this back one over here, gotta make sure I turn on the right one, because I don't use these back eyes a lot. I don't know why, I just don't. But back there, I'm gonna just put this ground beef in. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in it. Taco seasoning always calls for water anyway. That's not as much as it normally calls for, but I'm not doing a whole pound here. And then I'm just gonna put some taco seasoning in that pan. But in this pan, I'm gonna get it going, and I'm gonna put some olive oil in it. Just a little. For the shrimp. I don't have everything out here like I should have, but that's all right. I'll stir that in a few minutes. I have to give it time to thaw a little bit before I can actually stir the seasoning in. like stirred in really well. But it'll get everywhere. It'll be fine. We already have lettuce that's cut up. I'm going to cut up a tomato. And I'm going to have to grate some cheese because we don't have very much grated. And I don't know if we have any in the freezer or not. But that I grated before. I think I've used all of that. Actually, let me check that. Or no, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to grate some cheese. It'll be fine. Alright, I'm going to let that hang out there. And it shouldn't take it long to get heated through. These sleeves, y'all. Alright, I got them pulled up somewhat. Maybe that'll be alright. Noah! I don't know what that noise was. Also in this, I'm going to put a little bit of this Sazon. Can you wipe the table down?
Where'd you spray?
What, baby? The spray's down under the sink. You know where the spray is. It's been there forever.
Which type do we use now?
With the wood spray, that one. That means you have gotten out of practice. If you don't even know what I use anymore. And it's the same thing I've used forever. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Because it's got to thaw too. I don't ever thaw it before. I don't know why. But I just don't. If you want to, but I need a bowl for mine. This is a little bit more together than I normally have, but anyway, that's alright. I'm going to go ahead and put lime juice in here. Poured it over that, maybe help it. I don't have much left. I got another bottle though, a couple bottles. And I put a little bit of the Sazon for seasoning. Or Sazon. How do you say that? I don't know. Noah, do you know how to say it? And then some of the taco seasoning too. Over there.
We'll call it sizzling.
Sizzling? Sizzling, huh? I think it's not got any L's in it, man. Well, the tropical part does. Sizzleon. He always comes with funny names, though. And funny stuff. I did not expect this to be that frozen. It's not normally that frozen, but it'll be alright. It will. Huh?
You need a bowl?
Yeah, I need a bowl for my, I eat, you know, taco salad.
Yeah, but anything you want?
Oh, your daddy? No, he's gonna eat probably taco. Because it's shrimp. Now, if it was just beef, he would eat the taco salad. But since it's shrimp, he eats taco with soft taco shell. I'll get this all apart. And, it'll be alright. It's not the proper way to do it. I should have, if I would have known that this was going to be that frozen together, usually it's not that frozen together. If I would have known that, I would have either like hit the bag to break it apart while it was in the bag, or I would have thawed it some with some cold running water. But it'll be alright. Nobody's going to fuss around here. Nobody complains, do they, Noah? Not really. So are you saying that sometimes you complain?
Not I.
Not I? So who complains? Me?
There's something missing.
Do you got forks and stuff?
We don't need fork. We have a taco.
I need a fork.
That one.
Okay. So then your daddy always likes a fork because he's you know, that way he likes to have a fork, just in case. But it's up to y'all what you want. But the only thing's missing is the thing for the middle of the table to the I don't know what it's called, trivet. I mean, I know what it's called, but I can't say it for some reason. Then I say it. It's right there, baby. Wow, I have let you get out of practice for sure. You don't know where anything is. I think I need to put some more water in this. What? I know you're usually at work, but not on weekends. Put a little bit more water in that back there. I really wish I would have let this thaw out some more or something. It'll come apart though. They just have to have time to come apart. Ooh, there we go. No shrimp or human was hurt in the process of whatever that just happened. But I like it better that way for this part. Do we have plenty of tea, Noah? All right. For all three of us? He said yeah, but I don't know. I haven't looked. I only drink tea with dinner. Mostly I drink water. I do have a soda most days. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't. And I have a coffee most days. Anyway, that's all I do to that. I just let it cook. And then I let this heat through and let the seasoning get happy with it. I don't like that this thing makes all that noise because the pan is warped or something. I don't know. Maybe I could hold it. That'd be more sensible. That makes a huge difference. I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Alright. I'm just going to let everything cook now. And I'll bring you back whenever I start cutting up the tomato and the cheese and all that stuff. I don't know why, other than just to share what's going on with you. But we did have a good Bible study. I enjoyed it. I was a little bit nervous about what I wanted to talk about because it kind of veered from the actual, well, it did, but it didn't veer from the chapter. I mean, we're talking about the last chapters in 1 Samuel 30 and 31, and I had realized that Saul had asked for the ephod to be brought whenever he wanted to talk to God, and so did David. So I wanted to know why, and I kind of just went on a little rabbit trail of the ephod, and I learned a little bit about it. I'm sure there's more I could learn about it, and I shared what I had read. So come apart. Nope, not yet. Okay, it'll come apart. I don't have this on real high. I don't even know if that's the way you're supposed to cook shrimp, but I have never had anyone complain, and they don't ever ask. I mean, they don't ever say I have like that it's rubbery or anything. So that's good, because if you overcook shrimp, it gets rubbery, from what I understand. I don't know. I only eat shrimp when it's fried. I know that's weird to some people, but I don't like it otherwise. And I don't eat that very often. come apart. Come on, man. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm getting the tomato chopped up. Can't see what I'm doing with my hand in the way, can you? And we will probably heat up some queso cheese, because we usually do. And we'll get salsa, and we'll get sauce out. I like sauce with mine. Jeff eats salsa. Noah eats sometimes salsa, most of the time nothing. You know, most of the time neither one of those things. He'll eat like tomato and lettuce, but he doesn't eat the other stuff. Alright, there's that. Alright, so now I'm going to do the cheese. Grated cheese that's already done is so much easier, but this just tastes better. But I think I'm going to figure out some other way to do it. Like, I could take out the food processor, but for one small amount, like one meal, I just don't see the point. It's just more hassle. I have to clean it up and everything. We used to never buy grated cheese. Then we got to where we were buying it all the time. But that's all we ever did was buy grated cheese. Like, for things like this. And we bought block cheese too for other things, but we used to always buy the blocks and grate it or cut it up however we wanted it. But then it got to where that it was about the same price. Now it's not. Now the blocks are cheaper again, but that's not the reason why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for a couple reasons. One, this takes up less space in the refrigerator. The blocks do. And two, they just taste better. I just don't like grating it because it hurts my hands, but that's okay. It's a temporary thing. And I think the reason why it hurts my hands is because of the type of grater I use most of the time. I don't know if my box grater would be the same because I don't ever pull it out even though I have it. Okay. But I do have a nice box grater, whatever it's called. A nice box grater that, and I did clean the counter, so I can get that up and put it on there. But I have a nice one that has like the little thing on the bottom to catch everything. I just don't pull it out. Okay, so there's the queso cheese and the rice and sour cream. I didn't get the salsa or anything, Jeffrey. Shrimp, hamburger meat, or taco meat. Lettuce, I didn't get the taco shells either. cheese, tomato. You're gonna need more than that. Some tortilla chips because I like a little crunchy in it. And then those, we got that kind because we needed some. And then I'm gonna get the salsa and the sauce out because I forgot. And this is my favorite kind of taco sauce, Ortega. I like the mild or the medium. I don't like the hot. Well, I'll eat the hot, but I don't prefer it because it burns my mouth. And this is the salsa we're using right now. It's the black bean and corn. Now there was one brand, I can't think of the name of it right now. Chi-Chi's. There we go. That's the brand. It was my favorite, and it was black bean and corn. And I can't find it anymore. Anyway, we're gonna eat, and I'll see you whenever we're done.
You're like a ghost in my mind. I can't escape you. I need to believe it was right letting you go. 'Cause you're like a ghost in my mind. I wanna escape you, but I do not believe it was right letting you go. I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. I'm seeing your face in my dreams. I can't escape you. Like a movie on repeat, the scenes just go on. I'm hearing your voice in my dreams. I wanna escape you. I really think I made a big mistake. I want you to know I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you, and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart.
Okay, so I'm gonna clean the vacuum, but I did not bring the actual motor in here. I just brought in this, which is, oh, I dumped it first. And I brought in the hose part. It's weird taking it apart without the engine motor part. It's like, wait a minute, what do I do next? What do I do now? And I brought in this, but I'm not going to take this apart. I can't remember if I did last time or not. But I will get Jeff to check this. But yes, I did take it apart because I needed a a thing, and I used something that was already in here. Let me figure out what that was I used. Do y'all remember? Because I don't remember. It shouldn't be as dirty as last time. Because it's only been a month, so we're just a tiny bit over, maybe something like that. Let's see. I'm using the sink stopper to undo this. So let's see if I can get it apart. There we go. I'm gonna take that part and wash it. I don't think I can take the actual roller out. I don't remember what all I got apart last time. But I'll let Jeff do this part. I'm not going to fool with it. I don't want to take a chance of breaking something. But I know, I thought I got into that part somehow. I don't know how I did it. If I did it. I don't know. But I know there's stuff in there. So I'll see if he can check on that part. But right now, I'm just going to focus on the filter, or the filters. There's two filters. The filters and this and the other little parts. I'm just going to focus on this today and not worry about the rest much. Put a little bit of this on there, which is actually bathroom. Oh, dude. I didn't get this, so I can't actually do much without it. And I'm not going to worry about filling up the tub this time, because I don't think I need to, because it's not too terribly dirty. Completely honest with y'all, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do anything today. But I'm going to do it, because there's going to be days like that where I don't want to do things, and if I let my don't want to's get to me, then I won't get things done that I want to get done. It's like I want to get it done, I just don't want to do it today. And after I get it done, I'll be happy that I did do it. But it's nowhere near as dirty as it was last time. I mean, it's already clear water coming out. Whereas before, it was nasty for a while. But I am making sure I get all the soap out. But my vacuum did smell a lot better. Like, after I did this, it smelled better for the whole month. I mean, it hasn't gotten stinky yet. It was starting to, but it had not gotten there. So, put a little bit of this on here. One reason why I don't want to do this is because I don't want to be down here on my knees. Which is why that I like the other one, the vacuum mop. I like that it's so easy to do. I'm going to show y'all how I do that today too. Because I don't remember if I've ever really shown y'all. But I'll show y'all that. How that I do that. I know there's a way to get this to go right in the middle. There, that's all right. So I'm going to wash this up. I mean, last time it was pretty much just rinsed it because I had a thing full of water. But I don't have that this time because I chose not to. And I just scrubbed this tub last night. That's so loud. I wish I could quit hitting that. It's annoying me. Do you ever annoy yourself? And I still don't know how to get that stuff out without tearing up that filter, so it's just going to have to live there. I'm pushing the wrong way. Alright, let me see if I can rinse the inside of this. Can't rinse it if I close it. Oh, great. Okay. How did I do this before? Okay, I think we're going to call that good. And I'm just going to let everything sit here in the tub for a little while until I go get a dog towel and let it sit on that. But I think that's good. I think that's good enough. Sometimes good enough is good enough. Don't know why that does that, but okay. Alright, I'll be back.
It was a Thursday night when I first saw you. Those green eyes caught me. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a Friday night when I first kissed you. You struck me like lightning. You broke my chains and released me. And days turned into nights on the couch in your apartment. No, I am not the same. Everything has changed. Every day, 24/7, you call my name, and I will come running. Yeah, every day, 24/7. Yeah, every day, I will come running, babe. Every day, yeah, every day, babe. Used to be scared of letting someone get close without the filters, but you see the real me. Since I let you in under my skin, I'm more free than I have ever been. You broke my chains and released me. And days turned into nights on the couch in your apartment. No, I am not the same. Everything has changed. Every day, 24/7, you call my name, and I will come running. Yeah, every day, 24/7. Yeah, every day, I will come running, babe. Every day, yeah, every day, babe. And days turned into nights on the couch. No, I am not the same. Everything has changed. Every day, 24/7, you call my name, and I will come running. Yeah, every day, 24/7. Yeah, every day, I will come running, babe. Every day,
Okay, I'm going to try to show you how I clean this. Mainly it's just rinsing, but I do some cleaning, like with dish soap is what I use. But first I just take this off. And yes, this is the kitchen sink, but this is the easiest way for me to do it. And then I clean and sanitize my sink afterwards. I take this out, I clean it, well, I rinse it really good, and I put it in the dishwasher because it gets cleaned and sanitized in there. This may not be for everyone, but it's what works for me, and it's the best on my back, so that's what I do. So then I take this out, which is that easy. I take this part out, which is where all the dirty water goes, and I just sit it down, and I'll get to it later. But you see all that grossness in there. It is in there. Now, everything that is on this counter right here, like this thing, it will be taken off afterwards, and it will be washed in the washing machine. So, I'm not contaminating my kitchen, is what I'm trying to say. There's no dishes over here or anything like that. But I use hot water, and I put it through that little part right there, and all that stuff comes out. And then I rinse all of that. And I get the bottom as well as I can. It's hard to do this with filming because I don't know what y'all can and can't see. But I just rinse that part. I don't really do anything else. And then I take it and I put it back on the stand and I plug it up. So I'll be right back. I actually didn't make as big of a mess over here as I normally do. So then, normally, Jeff will take this for me if he's awake or if he's in here. But right now, he's trying to get that other thing cleaned up. So, I go and I dump this somewhere. See how nasty the floors were? And this is like everywhere that there's hardwood and linoleum and stuff, except Selena's room and that back bedroom. And I did not do the bathroom because I wiped it yesterday whenever I was cleaning the bathroom. So I'll be back after I empty this. Okay, so I got the liquid out of it, and there's still stuff going to be in there, but that's just the way it is. And I just dump it out. That's one reason I leave that thing in there, so it won't go down my drain. So now I just take and rinse everything off. But this I just stick over here and put some dish soap in it and try to get as much of the surface funk off. I picked up a paper clip. It's gonna go in the garbage. Don't want it for later. But this thing picks up hair and dirt and debris and all kinds of things. And I don't get a sponge or anything like that. I do have a little brush that came with it that I do this with, but I didn't grab the brush. Let me grab that real quick. It's under the sink in the little baggie. And I have an extra filter in there too. Okay. This little brush came with it for you to clean things. And it goes all the way through there. So you can get everything cleaned up. And it usually doesn't take me as long, but I'm talking to y'all, so it's going to take me longer. Just a few minutes is all it takes to get this cleaned up every time I use it. And I don't know if you have to clean every single part that I do every time, but I just do, because I don't want the smell of nasty water and stuff being in it. And the little brush gets into all the little nooks and crannies. And I just rinse everything really well with hot water. any of the dish soap in there because if you do, it'll start bubbling up. I'll put the brush into my little bucket, and I use that little bucket to let it sit and dry in it. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. It's got a little too hot for my hand. Alright, got all the soap out. I set that in there. And then, remember I had put soap on this. And if you don't wash this, then it will get stinky. So now I just get all the water out of the soap out of it. And I hadn't had any staining with this or anything like that. Like, this is just fabric, so if you don't clean it, it will stain, I would think. You just scared the poop out of me, man. Oh, okay. He's so quiet. He's like some sort of... You didn't scare me. He tried to scare me. He said boo. Noah's so quiet. He's a stealthy person. To be so big, like 6'4", not like big as in fat or anything, big as in tall and broad shoulders. Y'all seen him. Y'all know what I mean. Alright, so that's done. And I just let it, I didn't put them in here like I normally do. Something's not, there we go. I just let that dry. Then I rinse this all out to get all the stuff into the middle. And there was stuff that I poured out of the little reservoir, but I normally will just go ahead and take this over and but I want to kind of show y'all all that funky that comes out. And I make sure I don't splash anything, I don't get anything gross anywhere, but I take care of all the stuff so it doesn't contaminate things. And I use Comet with bleach, and I clean all this. But I'm not going to show you all that because I'm going to let that sit there for a few minutes and go do the other and the door. So I'll let that sit. Okay, so the last things I have to do today is wash this window here. I'm not going to try to fool with that one because I can't really reach it. Jeff can, but he's busy doing something else for me. He's working on trying to get all those little hairs out of the vacuum. But nobody really touches that one. And I'm not doing the outside anyway because it's been raining and stuff and the dogs will get their paw prints all over it anyway. But I'm going to wash this, and then I'm going to do those mats that go in the kitchen. Bella's looking at me like, what are you doing? But I'm going to wash this first. That way I can just use the Windex and this cloth to do those mats that go in there. And then we can put those back. Wouldn't think there'd be so many handprints with only adults living in here, but there's lots. Alright, so I'm gonna get these mats. And let me get y'all turned down here so we can get to them. I think I've shown them before, but I'm not sure how I do it. I've, shown how we do it. I think that'll be good enough. I think y'all can see it. But we'll just spray it and wipe it down, just like you would anything else. And I mean, some people mop theirs, but since we're not using a traditional mop, I I don't think we can with that thing. And these 2 of these are like super stained, but they were the cheaper ones, but they're the same brand, but they were cheaper than these. But and they're lighter colored, no, darker colored. But anyway, they're stained all up. We don't care, whatever. We're just gonna live with it. Like, see, these are stained up. They're darker colored, but they just, I don't know. We don't care. They serve their purpose, and they do okay. But we do clean them. Just doesn't look like it. And I'm not scrubbing them. Usually we use all-purpose cleaner, but since I already had the Windex out, I'm just going to use it. Alright, I'm going to leave that one sitting right there. Let them all dry. Throw this in the sink. Nope. In the washing machine. We got the chairs over here we got to put back too, but that can be done anytime. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my chores that I had written down done today, and probably on Tuesday, which will be your Wednesday that you actually see it, I may not have as long of a video because I do the Bible study. I don't know if I will or not. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I did want to hurry up and get my chores done today, and I was thankful that I didn't have any dishes to empty and that I didn't have any clothes to do, because I want to play a game with Noah in a little while. So I want to go ahead and get it all done so that I can get my shower and get this video edited and ready for you guys, and then I can play a game with him because he's off work this week too. He took off because his daddy was off. And are you getting it, or what do you think? Did you take the wheel out?
I figured I had to get it out.
Oh, he's taking the little wheels out of the vacuum to get all that hair and stuff. That vacuum, I can't remember which one it is, but it's a Shark, and it Pro Rocket or something like that. Anyway, it's the kind that has the little brush that the hair is not supposed to get tangled up. And you see how long my hair is, you see how crazy my hair is, and I've shown y'all that, I mean, it comes out easy. A lot of it comes out. And then Noah's hair is long. He has hair shed. And then we got the animals. Well, my hair, as long as it is, it does not get caught up on the brush. So I would recommend that vacuum. It's, how long we had it? 2 years? Probably about 2 years. And it's the first one we've ever had that didn't, he wasn't constantly fussing about having to get the hairs out, and I wasn't constantly fussing about it, and it actually has good suction still, which we don't have a lot of carpet, but we did have more carpet whenever we bought it. But it works really well, and it's just those little bitty wheels that the hair gets caught on. But anyway, I did want to get finished early today so we could play games. Most likely, since we ate dinner so early, there will be snacking later, but there's still monster cookies. Well, the bars. There's no more of the actual cookies. Noah ate all those up yesterday. There's the bars left, and then there's sugar cookies, which actually the boys really liked a lot more than I thought. So there's that over there, and I don't know, there's plenty of stuff. So I won't be making any more snacks was my whole point. Not today anyway. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we might be going to, Noah's been wanting to go to flea markets. We might be doing that. If we do, I may take y'all along with me. I don't really know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing day to day. And they didn't work on Noah's shelf. I think I mentioned that. But they didn't do that because it was raining. And they didn't go buy the stuff because it was raining and all that stuff. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and do all the YouTube things. And if you didn't, do them anyway, because there may be something you like that I do later. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me how you're doing. How's the weather today? It was raining, which I'm grateful for the rain. What was that? Putting it back together. Okay. I'm grateful for the rain because we needed it. But it was raining and it was like 50 something degrees, which is not terrible. I'm kind of hot right now because of vacuuming and mopping and cleaning the things. And it really does not take long to clean these things. It's just whenever I'm explaining and talking and trying not to get in front of the camera, which I fail at sometimes, it just takes me longer. But it really doesn't take long. And that vacuum mop, it does really good. And I know some of you have bought it. So if you have bought it, let me know if you like it as much as I do, because I really do like it. And no, I'm not affiliated. No, I got nothing for telling y'all about it. Jeff just went and picked it up for me, and we just risked getting it to see if we liked it, or see if if it would work well or not. And I really like it a lot. It helps me a lot. I'm not going to say a lot anymore. So leave me a comment down below. Tell me how you're doing. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.